I'm a 31-year-old mom of 8 and trying to make $20,000 in 300 days without my husband finding out. Today is day 9, and I'm going to tell you how I met my husband. In 2014, I was 20 years old and pregnant with my second child. I was in a toxic relationship, and when my baby was 2 weeks old, I got brave enough to leave. I left my hometown in Georgia and moved to Texas to try to make a better life for us. A year later, my ex went to rehab, and I moved back to Georgia to see if he could have a healthy relationship with my babies. The first visit we had at the rehab, I was talking to my ex, looked up, and I saw this really kind looking young man staring at me. That young man's dad was a patient at the rehab, and he was there every Sunday for church, just like I was. But later on, I learned that he was actually also a patient at the rehab, and I was so shocked because he just seemed so normal. That young man would play with my babies while I talked to my ex, and they loved him, and he was always so nice and respectful when he talked to me. I later learned that he actually grew up with my ex, and they were really good friends. A few months went by, and that young man graduated from the rehab, and he went to live in a men's home so he could get a job and learn how to live in the world while staying sober. Shortly after that, my ex made it really clear that he was not safe for me to be around anymore. So I stopped any kind of relationship we were trying to form and stopped going to the rehab. A month later, I got a Facebook message. It was from that young man. He asked how me and my ex were. I told him that I stopped going to visit because he showed me that he was not going to change. The young man told me that he was sorry and that if I ever needed help, that I could ask him. And I thought that that was so sweet. Like, please. I knew that he was kind and that he was good with my kids and someone that I felt comfortable being around them. So I told him that I was moving in 2 weeks and could really use help. He said that he would love to help, of course, and he did come to help. And as a thank you, I bought him lunch. And before we ate, he put his hand around me on my shoulder and prayed over our food. And like when he started to pray, I knew, like, I'm gonna marry him. That is like touching me is my husband, and we're not even dating yet.